Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to Daily's 2A News. Today we're going to talk about California's Prop 63, specifically ammunition background checks, and how that's led to over 60,000 people being denied their Second Amendment rights through ammunition purchases. Okay, so California, Prop 63, ammunition background checks. It has been a very difficult few years for people in California. People have been struggling just to maintain their Second Amendment rights at all. But over the past few years, it's been getting incrementally worse. And it's very easy to get overshadowed when you have news about Virginia and everything else that's happening across the country. People forget that Californians have already been living under a lot of these laws that are being proposed in these other states. One of the more extreme laws has to do with ammunition background checks. Now, in California, you cannot have ammunition shipped to your house. It has to be shipped either to an ammunition vendor or an FFL, in which case you have to show up in person with your ID in order to pick up that ammo. Now, remember, you need ammo and you need magazines to have a working firearm. If you don't have one of those three components, then you don't have a working firearm, and so your Second Amendment rights and your right to keep and bear arms is being infringed. Now, the thing is, when you go to the store or the ammunition vendor in order to pick up your ammunition, you have to give them your ID, all of your pertinent information. They have to put that on a piece of paper. They have to add their information onto the piece of paper. They have to put what ammunition you're buying and so forth. And then you have to pay an additional fee. They do the background check and then they come back with a decision. The problem is that according to the Truth About Guns, there has been a total of 99% false positives with this program. That means that 99% of the people that were denied their Second Amendment rights through ammunition sales were actually law-abiding citizens. So here we are, less than a year later, and already over 60,000 people have been denied their Second Amendment rights in California simply because of this ammunition background check. And like I said before, 99% of those are false positives. That means that a good, law-abiding, upstanding citizen walks into an FFL or a vendor, tries to get their ammunition, goes through the background check thinking everything's going to be fine because, hey, I'm a good guy. And they are turned away empty-handed. They don't get their fee back for the background check. They don't get the ammunition that it's their right to have. They simply have to go home and maybe figure out what the problem was and then try again. That is 60,000 plus people not being able to practice their Second Amendment rights, all because of this new background check law. Now, if the rest of us had anything in our lives that failed 99% of the time, if we had a car that wouldn't get us to work 99% of the time, or a dishwasher that failed 99% of the time, we wouldn't use them. We'd swap them out for something that actually worked, right? Well, not in California. And a lot of people have been asking, if it doesn't work, why do they still have it? Well, I think it's because that's all part of their plan. They don't care if it works. The thing about California is they hate guns. They hate people that have guns. And they want people to get rid of their guns. That is the final act in California, is to essentially, if they could, ban everything and they would get it out of the state. That would be California's end game. So when you tell them that 60,000 people have been denied their Second Amendment rights because this background check simply doesn't work, they probably just shrug it off and laugh behind closed doors because it's doing exactly what they wanted. It's keeping ammunition out of the hands of anybody with a gun. It's clear in California that they really don't care about criminals having firearms. They don't care about what criminals do, period. But they care about getting rid of these guns that are in the hands of law-abiding citizens. If you notice that a lot of the laws that are passed don't focus on the criminal. They focus on people that are already gun owners, people that are trying to practice their Second Amendment rights, and really just the average citizen. These new laws don't focus on the criminals. So when good people lose their rights, it's not a care of the California government. They don't try and fix it because I think this is exactly what their plan was. The less ammunition, the less guns, the better for them, regardless of who gets taken down in the meantime, whether you end up in jail or whether you end up with a gun that has absolutely no ammo in it. So it's really tough in California right now. Midterm elections, regular elections, these things all need to be a priority for everybody who lives in that state who cares about any of their rights. Because if they're willing to treat one of your rights like this, imagine what they're willing to do with the rest of them. Starts with the second, but then they start attacking the first, and maybe they go after the fourth and the fifth, and every other one of your rights that makes you, or helps to ensure that you are a free person. These rights are supposed to be inalienable. But for some reason, California government has decided just to simply walk all over them like they don't exist. So only you guys have the power to actually do anything about it. You know, I hear a lot of people saying how proud they are of Virginians standing up to letting something like this happen. Well, you still have the power to stand up and try and make change. So that's what I suggest that you do in any way, shape, or form. Make sure that you support people like the Firearms Policy Coalition who supports you. Donate, become a member if you can, because again, these guys are fighting for our Second Amendment rights, and they are effectively fighting for our rights, unlike the NRA, which is currently crickets. So I just wanted to make that point as well. But it's up to you, California, to try and overturn this, try and fix this stuff, because it is just getting worse and worse, and I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. But that's the current state of the Second Amendment right now in California. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.